So here we go again with the roller coaster that is General Hospital. And honestly, I need more coffee for this one, because the news dropping today is huge. Like, really huge? But don't panic. Okay, maybe panic a little bit, but just keep reading because it's not all bad. It's actually kind of sweet if you think about it. The word on the street, and by street I mean the reliable insiders who track every single move on the set, is that Jason Morgan is leaving Port Charles. Yeah, you heard me. Jason is out. Steve Burton has already taped his last episode. Put down the pitchforks, though. Seriously, just wait a second. Because here is the thing. It's not permanent. I repeat, it is not permanent. We have been down this road before where actors leave and we never know if they are coming back, but this time it feels different. It feels manageable. So Steve Burton explains that he is going on a hiatus, a break, a pause. And the reason is actually pretty awesome. He recently got married to Michelle Lundstrom, and frankly, looking at the schedule, these guys keep filming day in and day out memorizing lines. Dealing with all the heavy drama of the mob life, well, the fictional mob life, he deserves a break. We definitely think he deserves some time off to enjoy his family and his new life. Who wouldn't? Marriage is a big deal. You want to go on a honeymoon. You want to settle in. You don't want to be worrying about Sonny's latest crisis or who is shooting at who in the warehouse district while you're trying to enjoy wedded bliss. So let's set the record straight up front. Right here. Right now. He has indicated that he will return to the show. That is the bottom line. He said it. It's great news. It means we don't have to mourn the character or start writing angry letters to the network. At least not yet. But in the meantime, oh boy. In the meantime, fans are speculating like mad about his possible exit storyline. And can you blame them? When Jason Morgan leaves town, things usually explode. Or people get shot, or bridges collapse. It's never just, oh, Jason went to verify a coffee shipment in Seattle. It's always high stakes. And we have been crunching the numbers on the calendar, trying to figure out the math of soap opera production schedules, which is always a nightmare, by the way. But it's been reported that the last time we see Jason occurs roughly in 6 weeks. So you have about a month and a half of stone cold action left before he vanishes. And then the timeline says he will be back to taping by early June, which means he will air in July. So we are looking at a gap. A Jason-sized hole in the show for late spring and early summer. It's gonna be weird. Summer in Port Charles without Jason just feels, I don't know, unsafe. Who is going to save everyone? But let's get into the nitty-gritty of the story because that is what matters right now. How do they write him out? How do you explain a guy like Jason just taking off when things are heating up? Because things are definitely heating up. Just this week, look at what happened. Jocelyn Jacks, who is getting involved in everything lately. Seriously, she is everywhere. She told Jason that Ross Cullum is tied to Anna Devane. And this isn't just a, hey, they know each other thing. This is bad. Anna is delusional in France after her kidnapping escape. France. Of all places. And she's not doing well. So Jason hears this. And you know, Jason, he doesn't just nod and move on. He processes, he calculates, he is smart enough to realize that somehow Britt Westbourne is involved in this mess. Britt, the Britch. But we love her, right? Sometimes, I don't know, it's complicated. But Jason suspects her connection. And we predict his absence has to do with getting to the bottom of the mysterious happenings in PC. He isn't the type to let a mystery sit unsolved. Especially when it involves dangerous people. And Britt told him Cullum is ruthless. She used that word, ruthless. So Jason knows that time is of the essence. You don't wait around when ruthless guys are involved. You act. So here is the theory. Or one of them. We expect Jason to leave PC and not be heard from during Burton's hiatus. Just radio silence. Gone dark, which fits his character perfectly. He goes on a mission. He goes underground. He doesn't call. He doesn't write. He just works. And that makes the most sense for the writers. right? Just send him off on a task and have the other characters worry about him for a few months. Where is Jason? I haven't heard from Jason. It keeps him relevant without him actually being there. But wait, there is another angle here. A much more interesting angle, if you ask me. Jack Brennan. Remember him, the WSB guy. He wants Jason back in the WSB. He has been pushing for it. So, will he rejoin to find Anna? Think about it. Anna is a legend in the WSB. Jason has the skills. If Brennan comes to Jason and says, look, Anna is in trouble in France, she's losing her mind, we need someone who can operate outside the lines to get her. Would Jason say no? I don't think he would. He has a code. He helps people. Even if he hates the WSB, he respects Anna. Or maybe it gets darker, because this is GH and things always get darker. Will Jason be drugged and forced to do Jack's work? Maybe he doesn't go willingly. Maybe Brennan doesn't ask nicely. Maybe Jason wakes up in a cell or a plane, groggy, realizing he's been snatched to do a job he didn't sign up for. It's possible. It happens. And let's look at the logistics again. Finola Hughes, the Queen. She is on a hiatus of her own right now, filming minimally. That is why we see her inconsistently. She pops up, she vanishes. It's choppy. So it makes sense that Jason and Anna's absences could intertwine. The writers love to bundle exits. If you have two major stars taking time off, why not put them in the same black hole storyline? It saves money on sets, probably. And it keeps the plot focused. So picture this. It could be that the WSB find out about Jason's mission if he goes rogue to investigate, and they stick him in the same mental hospital as Anna. To keep him out of the way, under the WSB's 2-for-1 rate. Can you imagine Jason and Anna trapped in a mental facility in France, Jason trying to break them out while Anna is having delusions? It would be gold. Absolute gold. It explains why neither of them are in Port Charles. It explains the lack of communication. It raises the stakes for when they finally do return in July. They could come back with secrets, with trauma, with a bond that shakes things up. Then again, maybe I am overthinking the WSB angle. Maybe it is more medical, more sci-fi. Because GH loves its medical sci-fi weirdness. Jason could disappear on a quest to dupe Brit's meds. Yeah, the meds. Maybe he needs to get a sample, steal the formula, whatever, so that Brick, good old Brick, we love Stephen A. Smith popping in can have them reverse engineered. That sounds like a classic. Jason, Spinelli, Brick Caper, go steal the drugs, analyze them, save the day. It's a solo mission. It requires stealth. It requires travel. It fits the timeline perfectly. He goes to find the source. He runs into trouble. He gets stuck somewhere. Boom. Hiatus explained. Or, and I hate to even type this because it stresses me out just thinking about it, what are the chances there's a plot twist in which Jason is gunned down and presumed dead again? I mean, seriously. How many times can the guy die? But it is a soap trope for a reason. It's the easiest way to write someone out. Bang. Splash. Body falls into the harbor. Body falls off a bridge. We couldn't find him. He's gone. Everyone cries. Carly loses it. Sonny throws a glass. And then, 3 months later, he walks through the door with a headache and a bandage. It's lazy, sure, but it works. It gives the other actors a lot of material to chew on. The grief, the funeral, the memorial service. It fills airtime while Steve Burton is off enjoying his honeymoon with Michelle. But would they do that again so soon? I feel like we have done the Jason is dead thing too many times. It loses its impact. And since he has already said he is coming back, the audience knows he isn't dead. So the suspense isn't really there for us. It's just annoying. I'd prefer the mission. I'd prefer the kidnapping. I'd prefer the mental hospital with Anna. That sounds like an adventure. That sounds like story progression, not just a pause button. And look, Steve Burton has been carrying a lot of story lately. He's been in the thick of it. The friction with Sonny, the stuff with Carly, the kids, Jocelyn relying on him. It's a lot. A break is good. It refreshes the character. When he comes back in July, he can come back with a new energy. Maybe a new leather jacket? Who knows? But going back to Ross Cullum, this plot point seems to be the key. Jocelyn telling Jason about him is the trigger. It has to be. Why else include that specific scene right before the actor leaves? It's the breadcrumb trail. Ross Cullum, Anna Devane, France, delusions. It's all connected. The writers are laying the track right in front of the train. And Britt Westbourne being involved, that adds the emotional layer. Because Jason and Britt, well, they have a history, a vibe. If he thinks she is in trouble, or if he thinks she is causing trouble, he is going to intervene. And honestly, I am just tired of the inconsistencies with Anna's airtime. I get that Finola needs her time too, but the story suffers when the main players are popping in and out. If they use Jason's exit to fix that, to solidify Anna's story, to bring them both back with a bang in the summer, then I am all for it. Use the break to reset the board. Clean up the messy storylines. Get rid of the plot holes. So we have about 6 weeks left. That is what the report says. 6 weeks of Jason. That gives them time to set this up properly. It won't be sudden. It shouldn't be sudden. We should see him packing a bag, or loading a gun, or making a phone call to Brick saying, "I'm going dark." Give us a proper send-off, GH. Don't just have him disappear during a commercial break. We deserve better than that. Steve deserves better than that. Michelle Lundstrom deserves to know her husband's character had a cool exit while they are sipping cocktails on a beach somewhere. And hey, maybe he returns with a tan. Jason Morgan with a tan. That would be something. But seriously, anything and everything has happened on soaps. Aliens, check. Freezing the world, check. Coming back from the dead 10 times, check. So tell us how you think the show will explain Jason's latest and upcoming absence. Are you Team Secret Mission Team kidnapped by WSB Team Presumed Dead, or do you have some wild theory that involves weather control? Machines and long-lost twins, let's hear it. Because for the next few months, all we are going to have is theories. I'm just glad he is coming back. That is the takeaway here. Steve Burton is staying with GH. He's just taking a honeymoon. We can respect that. We can wait. It will be a long, hot summer without Stone Cold, but we will survive. Probably. Maybe. Just keep the coffee coming and don't let Sonny make any terrible decisions while Jason is gone. Oh, who am I kidding? Sonny is definitely going to make terrible decisions. That is what he does. And Jason will have to come back in July and clean up the mess. Like always, it is the circle of life in Port Charles. Anyway, that's the update. Raw and real. Steve is out for a bit. Michelle got the ring. Jason is heading into danger. Anna is in France. Britt is suspicious. And I need a nap. Stay tuned, folks. It's going to be a bumpy ride until June. I can predict it scene for scene, but I hope they surprise me. I hope Maxie finds out immediately. I want to see her reaction raw. And what about Nathan's reaction to Peter August? I know Peter is dead. Is he? Yes. Let's assume yes. But Nathan's brother was the one who tormented Maxie. Nathan has to deal with the guilt of that. My bloodline ruined your life while I was playing dead? That is heavy. That is some heavy guilt to bring into a marriage. Maybe he pushes her away. Maybe he thinks he's not good enough for her anymore. I'm dangerous, Maxie. Everyone around me gets hurt. I can hear the dialogue already. And then Spinelli can step in and be like, I am a hacker with anxiety. I am very safe. Actually, now that I say it out loud, Spinelli is the better choice for a peaceful life. But does Maxie want peace? She's a Jones. She's Frisco and Felicia's daughter. Chaos is in her DNA. She might say she wants stability, but she thrives on the adrenaline. Nathan coming back from the dead is the ultimate adrenaline rush.